on the mind. So the past, what has it been? The past week, I was over there during New Year's as well.
Yeah.
And the first person that came in after New Year's was, Happy New Year's. Did you? Because I got to spend Christmas at home. So I was like, Happy New Year. But at least we got to spend Christmas at home. And their response was, nope. Nope. I was here. I was like, oh, hey, sorry about that. And then they were the first person to tell me about the fact that they'd been working in the company for 10 years and this was the worst Christmas they'd ever had with it.
Years, damn.
And then on the flip side, I talked to someone else and I thought this was just wild, but that they, for the past 15 years in a row, have been on the minds for Christmas.
I think anyway, like doing Christmas on minds or just outside of your family or friends or your close cycle doesn't really matter,
It doesn't, no, but as in, imagine, I can't personally imagine spending 15 years in a row.
Yeah, man, like
15 Christmases in a row being like, nah. And then I asked, I was like, oh, he was back this Christmas just gone. He was back for the first time in Christmas in 15 years.
Oh, man,
I was like, oh, what did you think? He's like, for the first half, I actually felt like I should be at work. I was a bit out of place. I was like, dude, but surely you're going to start to take a few more off. And he was like, yeah, okay, like I am now. I've spent enough time.
I don't know, man. It seems like it's not a very healthy work balance.
Can't be.
Life, man. You need to have some time for yourself. That's the thing that kind of scare me with the minds. It's just okay, the money is good, but man, the time you spend there, all the time, you will never have back, man. You better make something good out of this money, eh?
Yeah, that's the hard part. Is every time you spend a dime that you've earned on the mines, it's a reminder of, well, am I going to be staying longer there now? Do I really? I want to maximize or minimize the amount of time that I have to do this for.
Yeah,
and the only way to do that is not spend, realistically.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I think.
I do think it's as well a great way to achieve your objective quite fast.
How did you get onto the? So I was going to actually ask maybe before we even get into that, a little bit of context of how it is that you arrived to Oz, and maybe we'll get to where we eventually met in the first place. Just give us a little bit of a rundown of
So I spent 30 years in France doing different jobs, different things. Used to work in the event industry for most of the time. I had a friend who was really keen to go in Australia, and he told me like, hey mate, let's go together. And at this time, I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. He's still in France because he couldn't make it, and here I am. And it's my best decision ever made, bro. Just traveling opened me a lot new words, a lot of things about myself that I would have never discovered otherwise. And fuck yeah, man. So
dude, your friend, has he messaged you at all recently, been like, dude, I fucked up?
Nah, he's doing his own stuff. He's good.
Okay, he's good. Yeah. So what was one of the? It's funny. I'm always interested to know, as you sort of just said, you travel and things open up both in yourself, other opportunities. The world is a very different place, I guess, when you just take that leap. So anything for you? I know we're getting quite deep quite quickly, but what are some of the things that I guess that you went, wow, like this is what changed a little bit when I started doing this for you?
I think it was to kind of a bit go out of all the expected model life that you can have. Like everybody wants to have like his 9 to 9 job and his house and blah blah blah. That's like the definition of kind of success, and actually you can just experience new way of living, and you realize that it's not complicated at all. Like you got less, just like being on the road, traveling, and adapting yourself to every situation is actually pretty easy. But I think it's just scary to think about it because it's something new, it's something out of your boundaries. But life is so much easier when you are on the road. That's what I think.
So how did you so your mate's like, let's go to Oz. You're like, yep, sweet, let's do that. Been working in events and industry for a while. So I guess what was the journey? Was it just flew into, the classic Sydney, Melbourne, or like how did you end up over here?
Man, I didn't have any proper plan. I was like, let's just see how it goes. So I fly in Brisbane. I stayed like a couple of days here. Then I went to an LPX close to Brisbane. A nice couple, but I didn't feel. It was not for me. Like I wanted to meet people, and it was in the middle of nowhere. And it was not for me. So I left. I left to join a friend that I met on my 3 days in Brisbane who was in Tasmania. So I flew to Tasmania, and from there I started my journey, doing some working hostel. Fuck, it was such a great experience, man. Such a great experience. The money was shit, but fuck. Like, you just made like 60, I was with like 60 people who were working together, partying together. It was crazy, man, crazy. Great way to start my journey, definitely.
Was that working at a hostel or working farm work from a hostel?
It was a working hostel. So it's an hostel where you work for the same company, which is farm. Yeah, it was farm.
Okay.
Picking.
Yep.
In Launceston. Yeah, in Launceston.
Launceston,
close to Launceston. And
was that apples?
Yeah, it was apples. Yeah, and that's how I started my journey. My journey in Australia. No plan, man. I had no plan, and I was just, you know what, fuck it, let's go and see.
Did you have a bit of savings that you were sort of, not too worried about getting into work straight away, or did you know when you're getting here I had to jump into work pretty quick?
Well, it didn't take me too long to get into the work. Maybe 3 weeks. I didn't spend much. I didn't have like super comfortable saving, to be honest. I had less than the minimum requirement. Yeah, but I was fine, man. I never had like money issue in Australia because I was working as well a lot and just being careful, I guess. But I mean, it's not. It depends. Like for me in France, pretty much the same cost of living. So I didn't have like a big gap, and I was pretty aware of what would be my expense. So.
Do you think now, because people from the UK, they're no longer having to do the farm work, and I've spoken with a number of backpackers now over the years, and for the farm work tended to be quite an important experience for having like friends like move all across the country and things to go and do, and some like deep ties would come as a result of that kind of difficult hard work. Do you think there's going to be a loss there for some of the UK peeps not doing it, or it's just one of those?
Well, it's the thing. It's still like if they want to do it, do they still have some requirement to be eligible for another year visa, or?
In UK, no. So if you're a Brit, Brit, you can just continue on the visa without the farm work.
Well, great for them. But still, like if they want to experience the nomad life with like going from a bit everywhere in Australia, following the seasons of the fruits, it's still pretty cool to do. It's a very unique experience, and at least you can just work outside, be in the sun. It's a totally different experience.
If you hadn't done that, was there another way that you would typically go about, or figured to get like a group of friends? Like how else? Because that's definitely one of the questions we have a lot from people is, I'm looking to meet people, I want to go do things with people. And that was obviously one big way that you're forced to meet, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever people.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're not doing that, how else would you?
Well, to be honest, I've stopped kind of traveling since like 2 years. I'm just staying in Perth, doing my own life. And I will be honest with you, I don't meet that many people anymore because I'm busy focusing on achieving things. But hostel and farm work are definitely the two way to meet people quite quickly. It's always very alive, and you got always new people coming in and out, and it's really good, really great.
What was the thing that sort of swapped you out of, you were traveling for a while, and then 2 years ago you were like, nah, that's it, I'm gonna stick around in little old Perth here. What was the shift?
Yeah, so the thing is, I was maybe I didn't have any plan. I was just like on the go for a year, and at some point I wanted to settle down a bit when I was in Broome. So I did all of the East Coast, the North, staying a couple of months here, a couple of months there, doing a lot of different things. I decided to stay in Broome. I love this place. I stayed like a year here, so I was living a year in an hostel, and it was awesome, great. I did party a lot. I did started to organize party a lot because
you can't not when you're in a hostel.
Fuck yeah, man, let's do it. And great experience. But at some point it was a bit overwhelming for me. I'm nearly 35 now, and I just decided that it was a bit too much.
Liver was catching up with you?
Yeah, and I wanted something else. I wanted to develop some other things for me and kind of catch up with my past and my normal real life and what I want to do and what I want to achieve. So after a year I decided to just see what Perth has to offer, and man, I love the city. I love the city. It's crazy, man. It's like there is everything, all the good part of the city without too many people. So it's great. It's really good. Everybody's happy. Everybody's nice. I just love it, man.
Perth is a very polarizing city in Australia because if you're looking for, the heaving, the nightlife, the constant things going on, you are going to want to be on the East Coast, the Sydney and the Melbourne.
Yeah.
Perth is not going to be nearly as vibrant or as densely populated. So you don't have all these things going on all the time. But on the flip side, if you're into any of your outdoor adventures, if you like the sort of big city but small town vibes,
definitely,
if you like the lifestyle sort of balance, the slightly more maybe like chill level, then again, Perth for people is like, oh, this is the place. And I find those that are a little bit more interested in the outdoor things, outdoor activities, whether that be beach or camping or traveling or anything that sort of gets you out away from the city at times as well, that's where you start to notice like, oh, WA has a bit going on. You're like, don't mind this.
Yeah, to be honest, it's to be honest, I need to explore a bit more WA, especially around Perth, man. I need to go out a bit more.
So you liked Perth because maybe just not as like you've been through Sydney, Melbourne. Like, have you been through the other cities?
Not really. I used to grow up in the countryside around Paris and work in Paris, so this is my point of reference. I know French have the reputation to be a bit rude, which is true.
But thanks for following along Waytree Experiences. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you found it helpful so far. We plan to have many more conversations with backpackers who have travelled around Australia to find out what they're doing, how they're doing it, so that you can be better informed, get the most out of your trip. So if you like what we're doing here, give this show a 5-star rating if you feel so inclined, or a thumbs up. And we really appreciate anything that shares it around. As you know, that's how things grow, of course. So that's all I'll ask. Give us a little bit of a shout out, and I'll really appreciate it. Cheers, guys.
I think it's the same vibe in every big city, and
sure,
people doesn't have the time for everything. Everything goes too fast. It's just a bit crazy, I think, for me. I definitely find myself more relaxed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was jumping back a little bit again. That sort of shift that you made. I find a lot of people, they tend to make that shift after a certain amount of pain, I guess, builds up, or whether it's just like you've just had one night too big, too many, then you just wake up and you just feel shit, and you're like, all right, got to make a change. Is that something similar to what happened?
No, it's totally similar. So I used to organize party all the time, and it feels like I was alone doing this, and it feels like I was giving too much without receiving, or without having like good relation. No, not really relation, but like deep relation with people. It feels like I knew everybody knew me, but at the end I was feeling so lonely, man. So I decided to stop. I was like, fuck it. It's not what I want. It's not what I want. I'm not happy, and I can't really develop myself anymore through that. So I just stopped.
Did that also sort of move you away from Broome as well at the same time? Was that sort of like, all right, going to change environment, or did you stick around there still for a while?
I stick around there for maybe another 3 months, 4 months. But at some point I stopped working, and I just at some point there was not much to do except partying. I was already there for a year, and I think it was time for me to just move and discover new things. So yeah.
So for anyone that hasn't organised, created, run an event or a party beforehand, give us a bit of an insight into the seemingly simple but a bit of a nightmarish sometimes thing to do.
Right. First, I'm always very driven about safety and cleanliness of the place. So that's a big part. That's really a big part. You definitely want to have a team with you. You need to be organized. You can do it by yourself, but fuck, man, it's a bit of pain in the ass. You don't expect, like, if you are alone or just, you need to be focused about what you are doing. You need to check a bit of the people. You can't really have fun like you would have fun as just a spectator or just like somebody who participate. No, you need to be a bit sharp. But no, it's great. It's great. it's great to see people having fun and a bit frustrating at the same time. But no. So.
Yeah. Frustrating in that you sort of almost wish you were getting to have the fun without having to worry with the responsibilities and concerns.
Yes, man. Because I just like dancing. Like just being a bit drunk, being a bit high, dancing, feeling the bass, and having good fun, talking to people. And yeah, I think you can achieve that, especially if you are with a group of person. It's definitely more easy to achieve that, and everybody can have fun. But no, I'm a loner, bro. So. So yeah.
So even while staying at a hostel, was you were always still doing everything by yourself? You were sort of the one running, setting up, packing down,
everything,
making sure
everything, and coming back after, see if there is some trash or something left. And no, man. It was a big job.
Yeah, it's a big effort.
It was a big effort. So yeah, it was too much. At some point, I was like, I'm alone. I can't really enjoy it, and I don't feel like any. I don't know. There was something missing, a counterpart missing of what I was giving.
So were you running some of the events on like behalf of a hostel? Like if I was, if I'm a young Miky Mike of sorts and I'm coming in and I'm trying to get into my DJing and I actually do like the idea of running events and parties, how did you, I guess, initiate it? How did you start doing it?
So a lot of hostels actually do it. Like I know in my hostel I was not DJing at the time. I just had like some speaker, and I was just asking to the barman or the boss of the hostel. Hey guys, can we put a bit of music? It's just an arrangement, just through communication, and I'm finding a good arrangement. And don't try to be like a dickhead. We'll continue and push the volume too loud if they ask you not to. Just be respectful, and everybody will be happy, and you can just start to. Enjoy what you are doing. Same for mixing. Just take your gear, take one speaker, and that's it. Have fun, man. Everybody will love it.
I love that. I think some people get too ahead of themselves with, if you're looking to do an event, to do something that you have to have everything and you have to have all the gear and you have to have all these things. And a lot of the time, it's ideal to have those things, but you can start off just simply by you've got a speaker, you're talking to someone, hey, can I put some music on, and you slowly have like two people dancing in front of you, like, oh, I suppose we could do this again, or it's something that you can just naturally sort of build over time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you have any idea, coming from France, you've obviously been in events in the industry for a little while.
Yeah.
Did you have an idea that's what you were going to try and or jump into it all in Australia, or did you have a vision of what was going to happen here?
So not at all, man. No plans, nothing. I didn't know what to expect. I was like a bit, fuck it. I arrived at a point in my life when I have done what I wanted to do in France, and for me it was like an opportunity to come here. So I just jumped on it, man. It was not. It was totally YOLO. Like, okay, let's go, man. Let's go. And no regrets, man. Best thing of my life. And I'm lucky to have experienced a lot of things in my life. But fuck, man, like I'm blessed. I feel blessed, man. Really
stoked to hear. Was there any? I mean, if I go over to anywhere, part of me, if I'm single at the moment, and so me going anywhere as well, there's always a little bit of like, ooh, maybe I'll run into, if I go to France, maybe I'll run into a nice French girl, like, ooh, that wouldn't be terrible.
Well, I think, I don't know, man, I'm not really into the game of seducing anymore, really. Like going out and talking with people, I don't know, man. As long as you are honest with yourself, not playing games, whatever you do, man, it will be fine. And I think that's kind of the hardest, not the hardest part, but something that maybe some people tend to forget is just be yourself. Just be yourself, be relaxed, no stress, and it should be fine for you.
I think that do you think that that's something that just takes time for people to recognize? And do you think as well, I guess, travel, because, I remember when I traveled over to Europe as a 19-year-old and really there were 2 or 3 things on my mind, which was drink a shitload of alcohol, try and sleep with a lot of birds, and just have as good a time as I possibly can. Whatever in the mix of that, it was sort of those were the major 3 things. Nothing else really mattered. Now, of course, I'd be nowhere near what that originally was. But do you think it just naturally takes a bit of time for people to recognize that, or what? Maybe even for you, did you feel again maybe created that shift?
I don't know how this shift came to me. I went from different things in my life, from the best thing to the very bad thing, and all of the nuances between, with a lot of things, women included. I would say, as long as you are a generally good person and you can show that to the world, yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Stop. Don't think with your desire, or don't be excited or stuff like that. It just be yourself. Be cool. Be cool. Don't try to prove anything. You got nothing to prove, man. You know yourself. And the people around you wants to know yourself as well. So just be sincere, and you should be fine.
Sounds like advice you're giving to your younger self, almost. Just
yeah, man. Yeah. Maybe I did play a bit at some point in my life, and it didn't bring me anything good on the long run.
Yeah, I tend to think that we pretend to be happy when we're doing things that actually don't provide us really any happiness, but to the people around us, that's like the goal is, you slept with a great looking gal or guy, depending on who you are. Yeah. And most of the time, or at least certainly after the novelty of, maybe you've never had sex before and it doesn't matter, it's always great. But eventually, the difference between someone that there is a connection with versus someone there isn't is night and day.
Yeah, that's a real deal. That's a real deal. Try to find connection with people, genuine connection with people, and man, it's everything. It's everything. I wish I would have focused a bit more on that when I was younger. Definitely, man.
Do you think? Well, what's the dating scene like here for you? Or maybe that's not what you're focused on at the moment, but I guess in terms of just meeting people or potential partners, like how have you found that experience around here?
Well, I think I had this kind of same behavior as I had in France when I arrived here. So just trying to, same thing as you said, like when you're young, you just want to drink and fuck and meet people, and you're not really, you just like playing games, you're not really genuine. You just want to impress, and it's it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. I never achieve great with that, except maybe just having some complaisance with my ego, or it's just, I don't know, man. Never. It feels like there was always something lacking, like genuine connection is definitely where you should start, in your life in general, and dating included, man. No, don't force anything. Never force anything. That's the worst thing you can do. If it doesn't have to happen, just do something else, man. Work on yourself all the time, mentally, physically. Be kind. I don't know. That's the only advice I will give to everyone who want to generally have fun with people and women.
I just watched this show Alone. It's like survival dudes that go out and it's last man standing, just lasts like 100 days in like the Arctic. No camera crew, no nothing. It's just them themselves.
In the Arctic?
Yeah, in the Arctic. Like it's genuinely, there's like black bears, it's like below 20 degrees at some points and whatever.
Okay.
It's brutal. Like people leave pretty early on. Some people stay for a while, but there's actually a lot of the people I've seen, or a few of the guys have, wives that they're like 30, 31, so my age. And, the most recent guy that I saw was like, 31 years old, been with his wife for 13 years. And I was like, so he's really been with his girl since like 18-year-old, like, again, starting from point of connection. And, I can't help but I was just thinking to myself, like, would I feel like I've missed out, having done that?
Yeah.
And you probably, like, it's probably the old, like, grass is always greener. But now from this vantage point, I'm like, no, fuck that. Go, if you're 18 and you found like the one, now I'm on the camp of like, fucking go for that. If the connection's there, like, go for that.
Yeah, but I do think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm really convinced that a lot of people can be very happy and very epanish in that. Not sure about the word.
What is it?
Can improve themselves and be
grow from that, and
yeah, exactly. But
Well, as our year 10 teacher once said to us, or said to my friend who had been long-term relationship, never been with another gal, and this is in year 10, mind you, high school, the teacher said, look, Rob, I respect what you're doing, but just remember that if you go into a shop and you go down the cereal aisle and you've only ever tried one cereal, how do you know which cereal you actually like?
That's it. Yeah. You need to experience a bit in life. That's definitely something you need to do, and I would recommend that. But I don't know. I think like it's pretty beautiful to know that people from their teenage love, because it's very intense when you are a teenager. I think it just fade away with ages. It's a different kind of love, and you are more mature about it. I don't know. I think there's pros and cons in both. I would definitely choose to experience life as much as you can, because at least you know. You won't have like your 40 mid-crisis life saying, no, I have done nothing. I feel like I'm missing something. No, man, like you would just, you will know yourself, know where you are, know what you want. So yeah, definitely go and explore the world. But if you are young and you're having something good with your woman, why not trying? Where would we be now if we were with our first love, man? Why not in Australia, for sure?
Yeah, that's a good point. If that was the case, there's probably kids running around at this point, and yeah, it does certainly. Things would be very different. Like
it would be definitely
very crazily different. So around Australia at the moment, you said it's been one of the best experiences.
Yeah.
And you feel sort of very blessed by it. What are some of the things I guess you've done that again? You would be looking back to tell Miky Mike, you have to now, like, if you go back to your past self, you definitely have to go stop here or do this, or anything that sort of pops to mind?
I don't think it's about the destination. You know this one, it's not really about the destination, but the journey. And I would have definitely start traveling way younger and experiment more things and go out of my boundaries zone and just try things. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. If you fail of success, just fucking try, mate. And that's the only way to know. Same thing for jobs, same thing for everything. There's a saying that I really like. It's about like from your 20 to your 30, you should experiment as many things as you can in life, and from your 30 and 40, you should decide what you want to do, where you want to go, and just maximize profit to live your life and be comfortable. And there is no rule. Like me, I started travel at 30, 31, and it's great. Fuck, it's awesome.
Did you? So you didn't travel much at all in the sort of 20s?
Nah, not really. Just for holidays, just like the classic. Oh, I'm going traveling for 2 weeks in holidays, doing this and that. But it's a bit bullshit, to be honest. Like you are just a tourist, So I don't call that traveling, man. I don't call it traveling.
Yeah, okay. So this was really, Australia was the first long-term, no ticket back sort of planned.
Yeah. And it's still, it's still a very Occidental way of living. So I got, I never feel like very lost as well about the way of living and things like that. It's not much different than in Europe. I mean, we still live the same way, pretty much. So I can't imagine, like, for people who went, I don't know, to India or Africa or Asia. Sure. It's just, I think it's a totally different experience, and I would like to, maybe one day to experiment that, to see on the human level where it can bring me. It'd be interesting to try that.
So that's it's the problem with traveling in general is there is no finish line with it. There's no, I've done it all, or I've been to every place, or I'm, there is no, I guess, like final, like I can call that one a day, call a day on that one. So do you kind of have aspirations, you're sort of saying, to go and do a long-term live somewhere else, or at the moment it's really just bang, smash Australia?
No, right now I'm just smashing Australia, developing. I got some project, I got some ideas. I want to stay here, develop something, and after traveling. But I do need this stability, and this. I want to succeed in some things. It will require time and effort, and I don't plan to travel anytime soon.
So some of the things that your projects, are you able to talk about them, or are they sort of under wraps at the moment?
No. I can talk about it. So I'm working currently as a rope access rigger. I would like to give more time for the rope access part and be specialized in it. I want to have some free time to reorganize party, this time mixing and doing some stuff, trying to monetize that as well. And yeah, I would like to open a business eventually. I got a couple of ideas, but it's still, it's still on paper. So, and I would like to have the time to explore that, create something for me, and yeah, just try new things.
Well, it was pretty cool, and that what we sort of connected. It was just through Facebook originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally random. Yeah, it was totally random.
I think you just reached out and was like, "Oh, hey, like I know you're doing a beach barbecue party thing. Like, do you want me to play some music?" And in my head, I was like, "Well, that sounds a lot better than just my speakers."
I would have done the job, mate.
But it's funny as you, again, we've done a couple of events last year, and then we took a bit of time off during the middle of this year to rearrange our project, which originally we'd been connecting backpackers to jobs for second year visa work. And now we really just had to completely move away from that and go like, can we do anything here still? Is there some value that we can offer, and what is it, and how do we make it work, and all that sort of shit that you just kind of go through as you're figuring out, do we have to stop this or can we keep going? And it's been a really fun swap into experiences, and really just about like, how do you allow people to sort of meet one another so that you can really get the most out of whatever it is you are trying to achieve in the place that you are. And so when you sort of reached out, I was like, oh, I've had a couple signals every now and then where someone has either put a hand up to say like, oh, that sounds cool, like would like to help out in whatever skill set that they have.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting, like when you do get that sort of response, someone that goes like, oh, I can offer this or add this to this, it usually is a good way of going, I think there is something still here. If someone who we've never met before is willing to say, man, like I like the sound of it, I got something to offer, like can we do something? It's like, cool, dude.
It's common goals, man.
Yeah, common goals.
Yeah,
bit of fun.
different expertise, and just like bringing people together. So yeah, that's cool, man.
It's very it kind of reminds me why the backpacker community is so awesome. I mean, when I've done I would still call them for sure short-term trips, like 4 weeks in Sri Lanka. That was the first solo thing that I did as well, where I didn't go with a friend or someone else, and that was the first time that I experienced what I would sort of issue as like a real freedom, where I felt like if I wanted to, I could stay there. Like, there was no responsibilities for me back home. I didn't have rent. I didn't have a dog. I didn't have, it was purely like, if I want to, I could just continue however I like. And I hadn't experienced that before. That was a very different level of like, whoa, just riding my own wave here style. And I think that you can't help but when you're forced into that position, I think you're right, where you kind of forced to grow a little bit that way. And I don't know if that's how you felt coming here, or you had a similar experience, but is that sort of it's almost addictive. I don't know if you've had that sort of thing before.
It is, because all you are discovering a new world out of your, I have to pay my bill, I need to do my groceries, blah blah blah. You're just free, man. You're just totally free, and meeting new people. You don't have all the. You are a new person as well. You can be whoever you want, man. Nobody knows you.
Yeah.
And
no high school names following you or anything.
Yeah, man. Like you leave your past and where it was, and just have a new life, a second chance.
Did you feel more yourself when you came to Australia?
I think, at some point, at some point, definitely, I could feel like I was at peace with what I'm doing and where I was. Yeah, definitely, like this moment where you should be here, and feels great. But not only like every journey you got up and down, and some day I was feeling terrible. Some great moments, some very bad moments. It's just life. But no, I'm definitely. I don't see myself going back to France. If I have to, I will go there, and I will do other things. But no, I don't consider myself going back there, as I do want to create something here. It's a choice I made. It's more because of the people. I would say it's more of the people and the vibes in Perth. In Perth, than anything else. For me, it's really important to feel relaxed. In the place you're gonna live.
Do you have still like close family back home as well?
Yeah, everybody's back home and stayed there.
Is that still pull at the heartstrings? Because
No.
that was always the one that I've got plenty of friends that have moved away for a long period, and like I think I can do it. Like, in fact, in some sense, I kind of like to sooner rather than later as well. As I had the 30-year-old crisis of being like, oh shit, I haven't done enough yet. Fuck. But it's fine now. But yeah, I always wondered about that. The family back home, does it feel like a draw card that? But you're sort of saying no. You feel like you can sort of create it here.
It doesn't. I always knew I wanted to travel. Since I was a kid, I always knew that. So I think I was kind of ready to be on my own. So yeah, I don't have this need with my family to have some news or to be close to them. I still call them time. I call them time to time, take some news. But no, I'm very okay with being far from them, and just a bit more on my own and the other family I'm creating here in Australia, my friends, and that's.
Have you been back at all briefly for a quick sort of stop in?
Yes. So I did have to do some work back in France a year ago. I went there, but I did rush everything, man. Try to see all of my family everywhere in France, like one day here, one day. Oh man. I couldn't really enjoy it. I was in the run. I was in the rush, not in the run. I was in the rush, but it's always nice to go time to time. This year, I decided to not go back and just to focus on my project. You have to get your own life and do your own thing. So
you'd have to sacrifice some things in order for other things to work out.
Definitely, yeah. But I've met a lot of people which for them it was a pretty tough one to go, like, to be far from the family. They couldn't accept it, which is fine. But at least now they know, they have experiences and they know. Yeah. So it's still a really great information in your life to know that you need to stay close to your family, and sure it's definitely will drive you somewhere in a precise area, and from there you can develop your own life. But
it is a good point, actually. The very fact that if you go away and you recognise, I actually don't want to live somewhere else long term because the family is, maybe I do want to be back there. Yeah, you're right. It totally is super valuable information because not having done that, it's something you can't realise until it's gone. It's like, so much of our shit in this life, you don't really recognise the value till it's not there. So
you need to experiment things to have your answers. So,
do you still stay in touch with a lot people home? Is it mostly people now here? Like who's?
No. I stay in touch with everyone. I still have my same old friend, and we keep in touch less. I didn't lose my friends, but I definitely don't have the time as well, and I don't take the time to call them. They got their own life as well. Everybody got kids, and
time difference.
So it's no, it's okay. We still are friends, and if I meet them tomorrow, I will have exactly the same attitude. It's like we just haven't seen each other the last week. Well, you got the idea.
Yeah. It's as if you'd never left.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I mean, there's no doubt. It to me that sounds like a good friendship group is created, or like good friends are made if that is true, where you kind of can admit to yourselves that, look, right now, like we've got a friend over in UK and he's been over on the East Coast for a bunch of years and he moved to UK now. He's been over for a year. And honestly, we probably chat over the phone like once every, at this moment, like 6 months.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty scarce, but still considering one of my best mates. And last time that we did hang out, same deal. It's like nothing's really changed, or at least I'm just as happy to see him, and like there's plenty to catch up on. There's got to be something to that where you're like, look, we may not be super close for the next 5 years, but given different circumstance, same place, like we'll we'll likely reconnect.
Deep connection with people, man. That's the best thing you can have. Deep connection with them, and that's where you maybe like, you got your friends, you have experienced crazy things together. I just bring you close. I don't know. It's cool, man. I love it. The fact that you still have your friend, and you know, even after a while, you will still have exactly the same vibe, and everything won't change. That's precious, man.
Yeah, no, very fortunate. I've always felt pretty fortunate about like family I've got, friends I've got. To be honest, for me, like when I was younger, 18 to sort of mid 20s, I was such a pussy when it came to the idea of like traveling away. Like it genuinely was like almost it was kind of scary for certainly from 18 to 22. Yeah. Still felt like I was 12 or something. I was like, but like now at this age, if I did go away for an extended period of time, I would feel very comfortable doing so just because of sort of the core that's been set up with fam and friends. And, for me, that does give me quite a lot of strength. I think ultimately I already seem to know that I don't think I would live somewhere else forever. I could do like a 5-year stint, maybe something to that sort of, but eventually it would be back to Perth.
Well, I guess as long as you can sustain yourself there, why not, man? Why not? There is no limitation. The only limitation we put is our own. Like you can do everything you want, man. If you want to do your podcast at the edge of the world in another backpack, man, let's go.
100%, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe that's what we'll have to change the podcast name to Edge of the World Pod. Just keep flying around to crazy locations.
I will watch you. Bro.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I wanted to find out as well that from the very beginning, we sort of touched on the fact the mines of the rope access that you're doing. Yeah. How did that, you were saying events industry, I guess, how did that come about? And I know a lot of people are really keen on mine jobs of all different kinds. So I guess, give us a bit of a rundown of how did that happen?
So from my previous work experience in the event industry, I'm just actually giving me some new skills for the same domain. Like what I'm doing, the rope access and the rigging, it's something very valuable in the event industry. So I still stay in the thing that I know. I'm just trying. I'm just bringing new experience and new technical knowledge for this field. So I'm not really trying something crazy new, but it's part of my plan as well. Just I want to give me like enough room to discover things, but still have the option to go back in the event industry. I think having option in your life is definitely a privilege, and I always try to work toward that. Have as many options as I can, because after it's human. You choose what you want to do. But if you don't have any choice, well, you have to do what you have to do. Like mining for me was a good opportunity to make some quick cash. And from them, I just use it to have my certificate and learn new skills and everything like that. Just I could waste everything in Bali or going in holidays in Bali, and I could have done that. I haven't, but I will one day. I will.
Yep, when it can pay for itself. Yeah, you've already paid it off. So with the rope access technician, just what do you actually do? And if I was coming over, do I need certain skills or qualifications?
So I did pass my tickets in Australia, actually. All of them, like also rigging and rope access. It's something I've done in Australia. It's an international ticket to allow you to be on a rope supervised by somebody who already has a level 3. And from there, most of the time you need another qualification. Like just being on rope is not enough. You always need a second qualification. So the thing that I saw most of the time would be fitter is a good one, painter, blaster, or welders as well, and rigger. You need to have 2 qualifications to work on ropes. Otherwise, you can maybe try cleaning windows. And that's pretty much it.
So how did you go onto a website to find the work originally? Did you have a friend? How did you get hooked up?
So I so I just wanted to have the certificate, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I did save a bit of money. I got some free time for me. Let's do it. You know, I kind of just jumped on it, and I forced myself, like by paying my certification and my course, I forced myself to do it and to achieve it. And actually, it took me a year because I was procrastinating and doing other job. Like, it took me a year before being in the industry, and since even now I'm not doing a rope access thing. It's really close what I'm doing. I'm mounting 5G antenna on top of telecommunication tower. So I enjoy it, but still, I want my ropes. I want to be a ropey.
Want to go back into the ropes.
Yeah,
so with the qualification, how much did it cost? How long did it take to do?
So the rope access, it's a international recognized diploma. It costs $1,800.
Okay.
Rigging, I do have both rigging, basic and intermediate. I think it's like $1,500 each. And so that's it.
Did it take a week to do? Did it take a month?
It's a week. Everything is a week.
Everything takes a week to do.
Everything takes a week. So it was 3 weeks. 3 weeks formation on different period of time.
In person as well, or all online?
No, I did everything in Perth. Actually, there is one who was down south, close to Dunborough, and on the way to go there, I just broke my car.
Perfect.
I broke my car on a Sunday when the Monday was a public holiday, and it was a fun experience. I ended up sleeping in a park with all my shit. Yeah, well, whatever. Just, it's like the kind of experience you can have. But
So you were the dodgy guy in the park, but did you know every
I tried to sleep. I tried to sleep between plants so nobody would annoy me. Yeah. It is what it is. But
Did you have an epiphany sometimes when someone is completely poverty stricken, sleeps in a park or on a bench or something like that? You hear about the epiphany that happens after. Did you have any epiphany?
No, not really. I do understand like everybody sometimes because it's bad day and everything, but I try to be independent, not really asking for help or anything. I try to find my own way. And if I had to sleep in a park outside, fuck it, it's not a big deal. It's not really a big deal. I mean, there are some people who do it every day, so why I will complain?
Well, as you say, it's good to try and experience a lot of different things, and I'm sure I've slept in. Well, I know I've slept in a park. I don't think it's been throughout a night, and I don't think it's been sober. But but it's not the worst thing in the world. So to have those sorts of bad experiences, which are bad at the time, tend to be pretty valuable, memorable, unique in the long run.
It always makes you grow.
Yeah.
It always makes you grow. It always makes you stronger. Experience, good or bad. Just take them all.
That's the thing. There's only a bad experience given not enough time, right? Like I think given enough time and your ability to try and figure out the good from the bad.
I think it's not only time related. It as well your way of seeing through things and to take distance from things, and you need to want as well to find some positive outcome, because if you stay focused on the negative, you will just stay in this loop forever. You need to find a way to transform the bad thing in your life into a good thing, and it's just up to you.
Is there anything you do in your life that sort of helps you with, I guess, transferring from bad to good, or anything that you found sort of helped you in that process of managing that?
Yes. So self-reflecting is always a good thing to do. Sports helps a lot. Regulate your body, your mind. It's a great one. I do music as well, and just generally trying to stay busy, trying to do things, whatever it is, just do things. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, trying to achieve some shit. So the music stuff, So you were kind of organising events, it sounds like, but at the time you were saying you didn't really actually have any DJ skills or anything.
Man, like the way I went into organizing party in Australia, I was living in Broome, and I was always keen of music, and I like loud music, like most of the people. So I was like, okay, I got a bit of cash, I will buy a speaker. So I bought one speaker on battery, and I was like, yeah, that's fun, but I don't have the stereo, so I bought another one. So now, two speaker, I got a stereo, but it lacked a bit of power, so I bought another two. And then I bought a generator and a gazebo and a table. I was just into that.
The bit by bit by bit by bit.
Yeah, but I already knew that. I already had the experience, so I knew what I was doing pretty much.
But then how did you get into the mixing side where you were like, all right, this is now more than just starting parties, the hobby of music itself. Yeah. Where did that, how did you go? When did you go bang?
I used to always play music as long as I remember as an autodidact. I never did I never studied that. It was just on my own time with YouTube and whatever. You can learn everything online. I was always into music, playing different instruments, and I think like mixing was always cool. I was like, yeah, fuck, that's cool. Look at this live, blah blah blah. So I don't know, man. I just bought my first DJ console, and let's go.
You're like, all right,
on
YouTube.
Do it yourself, man. Yeah, do it yourself. Learn by yourself. Experiment. Try, and
So how long have you been, mixing for?
Not long, man. Really not long. Like a couple of months. A couple of months, man. It's not long enough, but I was in music all of my life, so I guess it helped me a bit with certain things.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm not a musical expert of any sorts, but the set that you played down at the beach the other day on Christmas Eve, 24th was it, or 23rd or 24th, was epic. Like I actually, it was one of those, I hadn't heard any music, so I was like, look, there's always a chance I'm not gonna like the music, but that doesn't matter to me. Like as long as everyone's having a good time. But I was genuinely like, fuck yeah, getting to have a dance and I think you certainly picked the vibe really, really well. Because I've got plenty of friends who DJ, mix, produce, and ultimately like everyone's got their preferences, but trying to figure out what's going to both work that you also like, and I think that's a big part of the art form, right?
Yeah, I do like a lot of different things, but definitely like trying to bring what I like to do is trying to bring like this kind of love vibes where you just feel good, you can talk, you can dance, and and enjoy something a bit, I don't know, a bit different. It's just what I like. I just wanted to share what I like, and that's all, man. Just sharing the love. Yeah. No, really, just sharing the love, having a good time, and trying to. Yeah, that's it, man. Trying to just show myself a bit out of the world, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's definitely motivating for me to continue.
Oh, dude, I think it's
a good ambition.
Because that was actually going to be my follow-up question is like, I guess, what are you trying to create, and the fact that, it's just some level of love, but I like the way that you said, I want to allow people to both talk, like chat, connect, and dance at the same time, and having that mix. Now looking back, that's probably why I liked it so much, because it felt like could just have a chat with someone, or I could just start to get into a little groove with it. I hadn't thought about it in that way before.
I don't take it seriously, but I have this saying about music. I say, with a good music, you can talk, you can dance, and you can fuck. If you can do this three thing on one music, man, it's probably a good one. And it's not really playable for everything, but it amused me to say that.
So when does Miky Mike come out with his banging playlist that I can fuck to, talk to, and dance to?
Well, I'm very busy at the moment doing a lot of things. I need to allocate more time to sort my songs and everything. It takes a lot of time, I won't lie. So we're talking about thousands of music, and it just takes time. Little by little, I'm doing it, and I'm having experience, practicing some new things. I got a new cool effect that I experiment, and I fucking love it. So next time I will do it.
All right, cool.
Just time. I just need to have more time and more opportunity to express myself.
Can I I imagine you can with the mixer as well for the next set, which should drop on the 20th of January if anyone's down and around. But for the next set, are we able to even record the set itself?
Yeah, it should be possible, but I didn't have any look at it right now. I think. Yeah, well, I'm holding a mic in my hand. Let me see. Yeah, probably.
Should
you
be
got
just
some XLR. Yeah, man.
Little SD card in there.
You got the XLR. No, yeah. Technically, I think we're gonna talk about it out of.
Yeah, sure.
But no, should be doable and should be pretty easy, to be honest with you.
I was just thinking before as well about the, you gotta be able to talk, dance, you gotta be able to fuck,
100%.
That's
the pressure, bro. You're putting a lot of pressure on
No. We can we're entirely going to be as bad as we need to in order to learn.
Yeah.
That's
be
what
bad.
I mean.
Be bad before you need to be bad before being good.
We are walking right now, and at the end of the day, it's all about just having fun. It's not about I'm not trying to get to a million people on a beach or anything like that. It's as long as each time it's fun. Of course, that'll keep us. Well, for me anyway, that's how I'll keep going for sure.
I'm on, man. I'm hooked. Yeah, definitely. Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to. So I just in my mind when you're like, you got to be able to bang, talk, and dance. Isn't it kind of cool that at some point in time you've probably played a set or done something which has caused like two people to dance next to each other, like hook up, go and fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like you've partly helped sort of create the environment in which like a couple of people's stories are now intertwined. Like it's kind of funny that you're sort of almost directing people to like have this good time, and if that good time is had, you just you don't know where that moves people off in a different direction.
No, but maybe the story is just repeating itself. Maybe at some point you were in the public, and maybe you were like this good vibe, and you had good time talking with them, a good time fucking somebody, or just it's like this story repeating itself, but like we are all connected through sharing good moments and being relaxed. I know it sounds stupid, like that's a state of life we should enjoy every day, but I don't think that's the case in our pretty busy life.
Do you think this is a little bit abstract and philosophical, I guess, but do you, from that, are you sort of in the sense that things are sort of deterministic, things sort of happen, it's a little bit of fate going on around us, or do you think there is like an underlie of that, but there is still this constant flux of free will happening?
Well, I do believe in free will. I do believe every second we can change ourselves and be better. I don't think there is... I like to think that we are our own master and we can decide which road we can we can take. I think we are master of our life, and I like the fact that you can change and influence everything in your own life, and as well everything around you. And
I actually, it kind of sounds like I agree with you, because I was always caught in the trap of, if you go back to the Big Bang and you just measure it, like, everything explodes, and then you just see the next particle hit, the next particle hits, the next particle hits the next particle, and there's like a clear chain of events from all the way then all the way up to now. Yeah. Like, how are things not deterministic? But I think literally the way you said it is actually quite true, in that there's what I would call like a level of emergence. So like if you look at the detail of something, it's not until you zoom out that you get the full picture, and so there's different levels to what we've got, and there is some determinism, but there is like a level of you get to choose in moments what's going on, and not until the end of life do you maybe get the chance to zoom out to see the emergence.
Okay, I understand what you're telling me. I do think it's random. I do believe on the big randomness of everything. I think everything is totally random, and we got just I do believe in projection. I do believe we have some kind of power to guide ourselves in one way or another. But I think it's still us who are controlling or pushing ourselves. But we are nothing. What control we got on our life? It's compared to the universe, compared to life and everything. We are just like little sparks of dust. And
from dust to dust.
Yeah.
Well, I'm cognizant of your time as well, because I know that we'll have to wrap off shortly. But was there anything, I guess, parting words, whether it be to someone that's considering a move over to Oz or to consider travel in general, just I guess some words that you might want to leave the crowd with, and then if there's anywhere after that as well that you want people to, I don't know if there's a place to follow your music, or if anyone wants to, you want people to hook up with you, but obviously don't have to plug yourself either. But yeah, anything? Yeah,
I'm still very discreet right now. Maybe I will be the next DJ in the next 10 years. Who knows? But like right now, I'm under the radar for sure. For now. No, about the people who want to travel, it's a no-brainer. Really, it's a no-brainer. I know like all the stress and all our fear that we got. To be honest, like you will fear to travel, that you won't be able to do things that you are doing in your everyday life, and it's actually way much easier to live when you travel than living where you are right now. It just, you can't really consider it because it sounds like impossible, it sounds crazy, but that's the truth, man. That's the truth. Life is so much easier when you travel, and you will as well discover yourself and make new experience and growth. Like the growth, man, it's you can't go back. Like I know the way I am now, I will never be the same person again, and wow, that's just awesome. And I can tell the difference when I go back to see my friends and everything. They're still my friends and everything, but I really feel like it's like when I'm with them, I'm feeling like it's I see myself like 5 years ago, and I'm like, it's not me anymore, you know. But no, just go, man. Life is waiting for you, man.
I've got one more selfish question I realised that I meant to ask you as well.
Go for it.
Because I think one of the things I'm interested in is how the hell I'm having a conversation with someone that's quite intellectual and deep and difficult when it's your second language. And when you first came over as well, I know a lot of French, Dutch, a lot of people actually have quite good English, off the bat from schooling and whatever else. But
it's a language barrier, yeah.
But still, there is certainly a language barrier. So I just I ruined the fact that the last question was a much nicer ending, but I'm selfishly just keen to know a little bit of what it was like, or how, I guess, the experience of being a French person trying to get involved in, predominantly or really only English-speaking society. The barrier language is real. Wherever you want to go, you will need to practice, you will need to train. The simple way I had to train through my teenage time was through video games and movie. I had some good bases at school, but definitely video games and movie teach me most of my English and most of my vocabulary. But it's like everything you want to do in life. You need to put the hours. You need to try to remember, put the effort, be invested in what you do, and it's the same with language. And it's not that hard. I got my best friend who is a globetrotter. He loves to travel everywhere in the world, and he went to South America. Didn't know a word in Spanish, man. He just took lessons. Took lessons there. He learned. Now he's fluent. Stayed a year there, man. He's fluent, and he's doing the same now in Brazil with Portuguese, learning Portuguese. It just takes the time, take the hours. It will be fine, man. I think that's one of the. I need to have another language. I don't need to be completely perfect, but that's definitely a life goal at the moment, is to be able to go somewhere, stick around long enough that I can have a conversation such as this. Yeah. And if I'm stumbling over my words, that's fine. But if I can have a conversation with someone, then I'll sort of consider it a big win.
Yeah. I do have another thing to say, like, if you travel, try to stay with the local, talk their language. Don't go with the easy solution, like to find some mates which are from the same country as you and just speak in your local language. I mean, you won't make any progress with that. And I know it's a big one. I know like a lot of group, they just stay together with the same people of the same country, but I'm like, yeah, okay, guys, just, you are here as well to discover things, speak new languages, meet new people, and don't forget that.
Hang out with the locals. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining along. Miky Mike, cheers, bro. Much appreciated. Looking forward to...
Nice to be here, mate.
Cool, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the 20th January 2024, baby. Going to have a little bit of a longer party and stick around certainly for sunset for myself this time. Maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Love to see how we
probably,
go.
probably.
Yeah. All right, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.